name is Anthony. My organization is the Northern Education Initiative Plus project. It's a 5-year project funded by USAID. The project focuses on improving government system for delivering basic education, especially focusing on early grades between primary 1, which is grade 1s to grade 3. And the project is working in 10 LGAs per state. We are working in 2 states. We are working in Sokoto State and in Bauchi State. These states are majorly located in the northwest and kind of northeastern part of Nigeria. The locations are common with the conflict and affected by the indirect effect of the Boko Haram crisis going on in the northeast.
You already told me a bit about your target audience. That's awesome. What has been kind of the impact of all of this work, and how do you measure that impact?
For the NEI Plus project, it's been a very interesting one, especially as regards impact. The project is an evidence-based project, meaning every single activity we do on the project or every single collaboration is based on existing evidence, and new evidence we continue to gather. The project has a strong collaborative learning approach, especially with M&E. We have a monitoring, evaluation, research, and learning unit that cuts across every other unit. We have different sections for system strengthening. We have technology, which I also lead. We also have other sections like community mobilization. We have sections like that work with the government to improve their systems for management information system for education. So it's a really broad project as regards the number of people we work with directly and the impact. We also have partnership between the Prime Creative Associates and also subs like Education Development Center in the US. We also have other partners like Overseas Consulting that work on the communication and the media part. We also have partnership with key institutions in the country like Reading Association of Nigeria, like Federation of Muslim Women Association of Nigeria, from one which is very strong gender advocate for education. We also do other partnership with other local organizations like community structures, system strength, traditional institution, religious institution in those communities to help us deliver our target. For me, looking at the NEI Plus target, one of the greatest impact we've had is the ability to be able to affect lives and also affect the people we support, which are children that don't have access to education. The project has so far been able to create access to education to hundreds and hundreds of children that are out-of-school children.
Can you tell me a bit more about how the project has changed during the pandemic, kind of some of your challenges and anything you would have done differently looking back?
Wow, the NEI Plus projects, well, pre-pandemic, like I've mentioned, a lot of the things we've done pre-pandemic, and on the onset of COVID-19, many of us was hit all of a sudden with these measures, lockdown measures that were instituted. For Nigeria, it was a bit sudden, and we were, I would not say we were caught unawares, because we were already developing interactions around technology. Without knowing these things will now become the forefront of the things we are doing. The NEI Plus project, for example, has been using interactive voice response, social behavioral change communications like SMS, using mobile devices and applications to support the interventions we do. So for us, when COVID-19 came and there was a lockdown, the project management had a call to action from USAID, and we were all tasked to pivot activities around COVID-19. For us, one of the major things was how do we serve our beneficiaries, which are majorly the pupils in the school, the teachers that we work with, the various systems that support education. How do we keep people engaged? How do we continue activities such as teachers capacity building? How do we support children to ensure at least some form of activities happening at home during the lockdown? And so the project management constituted a pivot team to look into that. And one of those teams was technology, to see how we can continue activities using technology. Internally, we were able to deploy applications like Microsoft Teams for all our teams around the state and in the headquarters to be able to collaborate, share documents, and still continue work. But then on the forefront, in the field, it was difficult for our partners to still continue working because they work for the government and the government has shut down. And we also have to ensure we follow social distancing and all that. And so we were faced with the challenge of how do we ensure children do not lose out learning time. We don't know how long this is going to be. And like you see, we are still in the lockdown here in Nigeria and also across the world. So what we did was to come up with the concept, and that concept involved using a three-pronged approach. The first approach will be partnering with UNICEF to do radio programming, interactive audio lessons on radio and TV, partnering with UNICEF and the state government in Bauchi and Sokoto State to air at least some form of literacy lesson combined with stories, interactive short stories, songs, things that will get children engaged, especially ensuring they are aligned to the curriculum that they're already used to. And then on the second hand, we also decided to use technology to reach direct audience, like parents of children that we work with. For example, from 2015 to date, we've been doing a lot of interaction with technology. We've been doing a lot of data collection around technology, and that has given us a very increasing number of contacts of parents and community members that we could reach. So we just use our existing platform for interactive communication like SMS and IVR. Then we developed an interactive audio lesson using content from other IPs and also internal teams. We ensure that our content were based on the exact curriculum that the children were already used to. In fact, we ensured that the scope and sequence of those content were in line with the weeks that the children were just at the point when COVID-19 lockdown measures were addressed.
How do you think we can better prepare in the future during emergency situations like this?
Well, like they said, nothing prepares anybody for something like this. But from our own lesson, one of the things that helped us was thinking ahead, ensuring that we don't just design for now, but we design for all eventualities, especially as we talk about technology. One of the things we were able to do, like I mentioned, was the ability to get contacts and consents of parents over the years, and that's really helped us now during COVID-19. So in designing intervention, we have to ensure we think outside the box. We have to ensure we include, for example, when it comes to education programming, most times it's always the traditional processes of training, physical contact training, face-to-face training. But now we need to start thinking about how do we evolve that. And lucky for us, we already had modules that we were using to reach out to teachers, like SMS campaigns on best practices of how to teach. So that really helped us in using those kind of concepts to segment continuous professional development activities, even during COVID-19, for teachers remotely. We were able to reach out to teachers in different small WhatsApp groups. We were able to get our partners connected by Zoom and Microsoft Teams and still be able to do activities.
That's really well said. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us today and answering my questions. I've learned a lot and I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Stay safe and healthy.
You too.
All right.
Bye. Regards. Bye-bye.